Good morning, everyone. I'm Megan Cullip, along here with Scott Micklin.
Good morning, Megan Cullip.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good to see everyone. See you.
See you on. This is a milestone moment for us.
Is it?
It's the 50th show.
You've done the math?
Of course I did the math.
Good for you.
Oh my gosh, I was waiting for this.
Our 50th show.
50th.
How about that?
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And we're still talking to each other.
We're still talking to each other 4 days a week. Now we're on week 14, and it's 50 shows.
Wow.
I'm amazed. Oh my gosh.
What is that?
That's
exciting.
This is incredible. Was this just for our 50th show?
Yes, that's what we did for the 50th show. Yeah.
I love it.
That? Okay.
I love it.
Didn't expect it to do it without me hitting a button, but it just kind of did it.
So for our radio listeners, there was
you have to watch.
You got to go back and watch. But basically, there was a dancing. Yeah, never mind. You got to go back to watch.
A dancing emoji.
Yeah.
Celebrating.
It's worth checking out.
Thanks for paying attention.
Yeah, if for no other reason, our surprised faces.
Exactly.
Okay.
Right.
50.
But the other celebration today is... It's your birthday.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah, you've had a birthday, another rotation around the sun.
Rotation around the sun.
So happy birthday.
Thank you. Yeah. So we're still in the, I think birthdays, you know how you reach a certain age and you're kind of like, oh, let's stop counting now. But I think it's a nice day of reflection.
It is.
That's what I spend my time doing.
That's true.
Reflecting.
Well, and I think, old age is something to be cherished. And, for folks that reach old age,
Well, I'm definitely at a point where...
Not you.
Well, I'm old enough to have learned things, but I'm young enough to still have a younger body, so I'm kind of in the sweet spot.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you
go. Yes,
all
but it's fun to think about. My question is always like, am I a better person than last year?
Right. And...
I think so.
Are you still thinking about that?
Yeah, I'm still, the jury's still
Get back
out,
to us?
but pretty sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. All right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we have guests today
who
are calling in, and I think we've got one on the phone already.
Yeah.
So shall we go to the phones? And not keep them waiting?
No, yeah, they're like, we're done listening to your birthday stories.
Yeah, birthday and whatever you're going to pop up on the screen which is always a little crazy. But anyway, good morning. You're on KSJE.
Good morning, Scott. This is Tim calling from BPL Plasma.
Hi, Tim. Thank you very much. This is Tim Muir from BPL Plasma in Farmington. We've asked him to kind of call back in because the last time we spoke, Tim, we were asking you a little bit about BPL, and you were looking for survivors, patients that had recovered from COVID-19 to maybe donate their plasma, their convalescent plasma, for some studies and research that was being done. And so that was the last time we spoke. And so what can you tell us? What's the latest?
Well, since then, I'm very happy to announce that the alliance that we're part of, which is comprised of world leaders in plasma-derived therapies, have actually begun production of a potential COVID-19 medicine using the convalescent plasma donations that we collect in our centers. So this is really big news for everyone. And the reason why this is, big news is that the same, method, the same science that we applied to treating SARS and Ebola and other strains of the coronavirus and other viruses altogether is now being utilized to treat COVID-19, which is very important because this is not a synthetically produced therapy, which means that, the likelihood, scientifically speaking from previous experiences, the likelihood of any side effects or any danger on the patients is minimal, if not non-existent. So this is a very good news, and this is very big for us as not only as a company, as teams who work in the plasma industry, but it's also really good news for everyone, including the people who are maybe recovering from COVID-19 or in the process of looking for ways to help us and help the community that they live in to get out of this whole mess. And, for us, we just want to, announce this proudly because with our partners who are the donors, the people who donate convalescent plasma who have recovered from COVID-19, this dream, this possibility is now becoming more and more a reality.
That is so exciting. Actually, Scott and I both looked at each other while you were talking. We were like, what? I mean, this is a big moment in history. So is this treatment still in this sort of quasi-experimental stage where we're really only using it for the most dire of cases, or is this something that's going to be now integrated into like standard practice?
So to explain to you more, I mean, we've seen convalescent plasma being used all over, on the news. You see a lot of universities, a lot of companies, or a lot of, hospitals using direct infusion of convalescent plasma into patients after they check the safety of the plasma that is being donated. We do something very different. We collect the convalescent plasma and we concentrate the antibodies in order to manufacture a concentrated therapy that has a very potent amount of antibodies to treat those patients. Now, going back to your question, we have a process that we have to go by, whether it's with the FDA or any other regulatory agency, and this process is not being overlooked right now. So we have to go with the same kind of process of, rolling out a new therapy. Right now, the clinical production is going to be tested, and it's going to be vigorously, overseen by these regulatory agencies in order to make sure that what we're proposing is actually true. So they're not letting their guard down. We're not letting our guard down because there's a process that we have to go by. Going back to what you're saying about, rolling it out and testing it on patients, it's very different from the direct infusion of collected plasma. This is the plasma that is being collected. You've seen probably Tom Hanks, donating at UCLA and all these other celebrities. That's a different thing. They're taking the same plasma, they're just testing it, and after they make sure it's safe, they re-inject it into a patient's body. That what we do is very different. It's more broad. It's more specific. It is more engineered in a way.
I see. Interesting. And Tim, explain and remind us. Of course, BPL is a big company, and so this work is being done at some of your labs and research facilities, not necessarily here in Farmington, of course, where you have a facility, but this is all part of a greater goal of the company, right? To try to use this plasma and these donations for this research and to then spread it around and announce it to the rest of the country and the rest of the world, correct?
Absolutely, and we're part of this alliance. It's a very powerful statement that the world leaders in plasma-derived therapies have come together to join forces in order to accelerate and expedite the production of such therapy. We have over 5 or 6 of the biggest companies in the world. Some of them are from the U.S., some of them are from Australia. We have a company from Switzerland and another company in France. So you can see the worldwide interest and input into this effort. And what we do here in Farmington, or as BPL, is, as part of our commitment to this alliance and to this united, goal that we have, is technically collect as many convalescent plasma units as we can, and this goes back to our partners in this, who are the donors. So we renew always our call that us in Farmington and our sister center in Gallup, what we do is technically provide those brave people that are working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in order to manufacture or to get to that point where we have a valid therapy with the content, with the plasma, convalescent plasma, to actually get them to where they have a therapy that works, and that is our goal here at Farmington.
Very good. And Tim, I wanted to ask you too, I would imagine with a lot of the research being done, because everyone would like to have maybe some more effective treatments and even a vaccine at some point, is a lot of this work kind of going at a faster pace than it usually does? Are you seeing that in some of the work that's being done with BPL?
Well, here's the thing. The nature of the alliance and what we do as a BPL is because of our belief is that the combined efforts and the joint forces that of all those companies, all those minds, all these hours that are being worked, instead of being separate, joining them together, eventually it will expedite the effort. It will expedite the process without compromising the quality or the the scientific value of what we do. We cannot expedite a scientific experiment, but what could be done is, from a scientific perspective, is if you have multiple people working on, variables, different variables and different, tracks of a certain experiment, they will eventually expedite the process, because you don't have one person working on something and then they have to wait until that experiment passes and then try the next one and the next scenario and the next scenario. So this is where the power of this alliance that BPL is a big part of is very important.
Yeah, everybody working together, it's always a more positive experience. So, two questions related to donating plasma. One is, some individuals, of course, know that they had COVID and they survived it, and so it's obvious they have antibodies, and those donors would be very important to obtain their plasma, I would think. But what about other folks that just want to donate plasma? And is that a situation where I donate plasma, I don't know if I've had the disease, but lo and behold, whoa, I have antibodies. So I guess the question is are you guys still seeking really any plasma donor that would like to donate?
Absolutely. We're seeing the shortage in plasma, storage, or, the plasma that we've collected a year ago is what's being used right now, because usually when you collect plasma, it takes up to a year to actually take it into production, and that's for safety precautions. So right now, our patients that have immunodeficiencies and other, life-threatening illnesses, they're seeing the effects of this shortage that we're seeing right now, that we have right now, because of the, social distancing and staying in at home kind of orders and all of that. So we're seeing that the need for plasma doesn't stop, because there's always someone who is life is dependent on it. So that's one side of things that we really want to reiterate, is that you're more than welcome to donate plasma at any time. Please do so, because literally there's someone's life depending on it. Now, for COVID, if someone comes in and says, let's say, I suspect that I had COVID. My family member I was exposed to, he was positive or she was positive. We can investigate that. We can order a test based on the number of markers or evidence that we have that there is a possibility of that person having COVID. Now, it is more time consuming doing that, but what we would like, if someone who recovered from COVID, as soon as possible, contact us, because the window of opportunity to actually collect convalescent plasma is very short. Those antibodies, they don't last for long to where it's beneficial to us. It lasts for a while for the patient's, for the recovered patient well-being, but for us to actually collect the antibodies at a rate that is beneficial to the cause, the window of opportunity is very short. So we encourage them to actually contact us as soon as possible. And this is where they can call us, they can email us, either personally, or they can email the center, or call the center, or contact our corporate office. Any way they like, we will study their story, and if they don't have valid, proof, a positive test result of COVID, we will, take their story into consideration and figure out if there's a possibility of them actually having had the virus in the past and just recovered.
Very good. Well, Tim, we appreciate the update, and it's exciting news. Again, the work that you are doing with this alliance that you're mentioning with BPL, and again, for folks who have recovered, we keep seeing these numbers every day about the numbers of recoveries in our state, which we're excited about. So if they would like to, they can come down and donate some of their convalescent plasma and be part of this research, correct?
Absolutely. And just, as a PSA announcement, the safety precautions that we have at the center, they're pretty leading, whether it's, in any hospital or any medical facility, you won't find anything. We are taking the most strict measures of ensuring the safety of our donors, of our workers, and anyone who visits the center. So, we have temperature taking stations at the entry, at the door, and then we have to take your vitals using medical grade equipment at the booths, and then masks are mandatory inside our facility, and we do supply the masks, so you don't have to come in with your own mask. We have disposable surgical masks for everyone to use. Also, there is a financial incentive. Donors can earn up to $70 a week donating regular plasma, and they can add $40 to that if they're convalescent plasma donors. So that's $110 a week. New donors can earn up to $100 a week, and you can add $40 to that if they're convalescent plasma donors. So there is a financial incentive, and again, this is, as a thank you from us and from our patients for the time that those donors spend at our centers and for the gift of life that they give us. So I would like to encourage everybody to come in and make sure that, what we are doing is ensuring the safety of everyone using the precautions that we have. And again, if they have any questions about our procedures or they need any information whatsoever, they can call our center or they can call us directly on any of our phone numbers. Our phone number is 505-325-9408. So please give us a call if you have any questions.
Wonderful. And we have one last question that actually comes from a Facebook user. How many patients would be able to benefit from one plasma donation?
Unfortunately, we don't have that number yet. The nature of the study is currently, it is in development, so we don't have that number as of yet. It is very different from, again, direct infusion with convalescent plasma, which, one bag of plasma that is being collected, like you saw Tom Hanks, for example, donating one bag of plasma. I don't know how they do that. How do they infuse that? Do they infuse the whole bag or do they separate it? I have no idea. The same thing goes for the therapy. It is still in progress. All this information will be released as soon as we make sure that all the regulatory procedures have been completed.
Very
so
good.
I'm sorry not to answer that question, but I don't have the information for it, unfortunately.
That's okay, Tim. But you had a lot of other information for us, so we appreciate that very much. So thank you for calling back in with the exciting update. Again, and I know companies like yours are doing this similar type of work, and all of us are hopeful to have some maybe new treatment soon or even a vaccine soon.
That's right.
It's because of all this work. So
Yep.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you, guys, for all the questions.
You're very welcome. That is Tim Muir, everyone. He is with BPL Plasma here in Farmington, joining us on our COVID-19 local information program.
I love it.
Exciting.
As you know, and I've said this before, but let's just assume that not everybody's catching us every day, especially now that we're at episode 50.
You miss one, you miss a lot.
I think that's apparent.
I think so.
But it's been my obsession as far as the image goes for the year, right? Like, just how beautiful and primitive and compassionate it is to say, I survived this terrible thing, and I'm going to attach my arm to yours to walk you through this terrible thing. It's very profound to me.
Yeah. Well, I would
profound.
think so. I would think so. Hey, you got a birthday
Hey,
shout out
look
from
at that. Hey.
San Antonio.
There you go.
Probably someone who knows you.
I would suspect as much.
I would think the whole city of San Antonio knows
The
you.
whole city of San Antonio.
So, yeah.
There's at least a good portion around the north side
Okay.
that knows me
All
pretty
right.
well.
Well,
It's a big city.
There you go. Okay. Well, anyway.
Thank you.
Little shout out for you there. So, good.
Cool.
Hey,
Who's on the phone?
We have another guest on the phone, and so let me get them ready to go with this. Good morning. You're on KSJE this morning.
Hi, Scott. It's Allie.
Hey, it's Allie Davis, our other guest this morning that we wanted to talk with from Aspen Leaf. And so thank you so much for calling in. It's great to hear your voice. And I know Megan was out and about.
This is why I asked Allie to come on, because, hi, good to see you. I mean, sort of, to hear you. But I was out at Aspen Leaf about 2 weeks ago, which was big I took a couple of folks that work with me there, and it was big for us because, of course, we've been sort of careful in avoiding things. And Aspen Leaf impressed me because you guys were so on top of the precautions. So tell us what you guys are doing to keep people safe.
Okay, sure. Well, first, thanks for coming in. We appreciate that a whole lot. And when all this kind of started happening in March, we made the quick decision to close our doors for a couple months, which a lot of places stayed open, and that was great. But with our business model, we just weren't sure how we were going to be able to do that, and we needed a plan. There were so many unknowns. There were so many, different things floating around, what we should do, what we shouldn't do. So we wanted to keep our staff safe, our customers safe. We just decided, you know what, we better close, get a plan together. And so we took about 7 weeks and closed down. Then we were able to roll out with a plan that made everybody feel safe. And that was our goal, was just to create an environment that was welcoming, preserve as much of the experience as possible for Aspen Leaf, which, everybody knows. You come in, you get sample cups. It's a kind of intimate experience at Aspen Leaf. So we knew that it was going to be a little bit different, but we were trying to preserve as much of that as we could. And we ended up having to change some things. And so now, we have a note on the door kind of asking customers, telling them what we expect from them and what we hope from them. And they come in. We are no longer able to offer sample cups for now. We're hoping eventually we'll be able to. That's one of the biggest complaints we're getting, or, biggest concerns. When are we going to get sample cups? And we miss the sample cups, and everybody loves that. So we're hoping to be able to do that again, but it might be a year before we're able to offer sample cups. We're just not sure at this time. So you come in, we are giving customers a plastic glove to put on their hand, asking them to use that glove for the hand that they're using to get their own yogurt. All of our cups are off of the counter now, so each customer gets their own cup. Our staff is wearing double gloves all the time, and so the gloves are always clean. They're always handing customers clean cups. Customers go over, get their own yogurt, and then what is probably the biggest difference in the shop is that we've got a plexiglass shield along our entire topping bar down to our cash register, and customers are handing their cups to staff, and staff are taking care of the toppings for the customers. So those are kind of the big changes. We've closed down, or we moved to the side half of our dining room, and that's been a good thing in the last couple of weeks, is being able to come in and sit back down at a few of our tables. So those are the big changes.
Very good. And so I would think, Allie Davis, that your customers appreciate these changes. And have you been getting some support from your maybe corporate offices or just from the chamber or the state that we're hearing about of some of these COVID safe practices? Has that been helpful as you kind of made your plan to then reopen the store?
Yes, and to answer your first question, customers have been incredible. It is so fun to be in the shop. 90% of customers are wearing masks, and that's really great. We really appreciate that, because our top priority is keeping our staff safe and our customers safe. And if everyone wears a mask, obviously when you sit down at a table and enjoy your yogurt, you're not going to have your mask on. But if while you're interacting with other people in the shop and you're passing by them and, doing all that, we've asked customers to wear a mask. They're all being very respectful of that. We appreciate it. And overwhelming, the customers have just said, thank you so much, and this is awesome, and we know it's different, but we'll be patient. That's the other thing. It takes a long time for the staff to top yogurts. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And the staff's doing little spoonfuls for each little thing. And so it's tricky. And meanwhile, there's 6 other customers in line with yogurt, which you all know. Yogurt, sometimes it doesn't hold up super well while you're waiting if you don't get to it fast. But our customers have just been so incredibly generous and, complimentary, and just, it's been real positive. To answer your second question, we do have a corporate, we are a franchise, and Rocky Mountain Chocolate Company is our parent company. So they've been very supportive, and it's really nice. We have weekly calls with 60 other yogurt shops. So we all bounce ideas off each other. Hey, we tried this, we did this didn't work, this was great. And that's been a huge resource and very helpful, for sure.
Scott just said that's a lot of leaves. So
that's why you were laughing.
That's why
when
I
turned
was
the
laughing.
microphone back
yeah,
on.
it
And I
had nothing
apologize
to do with
because
you.
we were
It had
talking
everything
about
to do with Scott.
making a comment off mic. But that's a lot of aspen leaves, is what I was saying.
Yeah,
because
60.
you have so many.
It's Froyo mania.
Yeah,
I love it.
there you go.
The question I had, yes, was so while you guys took this time off, rightfully so, to figure out how to do this most prudently, did you guys dream up any new flavors? Let's talk about the flavors, because I did notice that there was cookie dough topping, and that was absolutely worth the wait, I will say.
Yes, our cookie dough, we brought that in the fall, and it's been widely popular. We have a chocolate chip cookie dough, birthday cake cookie dough, Oreo, and Monster. And it's just like fresh, homemade cookie dough without it's all been pasteurized. There's no egg in it, so it's safe to eat at room temperature. And we do big old scoops of cookie dough, and it's pretty delicious in Froyo. We change our flavors. You know, we've got our 10 or 12 that we pretty much have all the time. And then we use the other 6 to be able to kind of do some different fun flavors, and we bring in seasonal things. And in the summer, sorbets are really popular, so we have a passion orange guava sorbet right now. We have our pistachio gelato back, which a lot of people really miss when we have to move that out for different reasons. And we have a sweet coconut, and then we also have NSA, which is a no sugar added strawberry banana flavor that will be seasonal. So, you know, we kind of rotate flavors around we have flavors rotating around every month or 2 normally.
Very good. Well, Allie, we're so excited to talk to you and to hear the changes that you have made at your store for customers, and people are coming back. And as things begin to reopen, I think it's great to be able to share these stories of our local businesses with our community. So thanks so much for calling in.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and have a great day.
All right.
You too.
We certainly will. You too. Thank you so much. That's Allie Davis from Aspen Leaf Frozen Yogurt, and we appreciate her calling in, like I said.
Yeah.
So great to see those examples of how folks are reopening safely and allowing customers to come back in and all
That's
that,
right.
which is good.
Right, that's right, keeping us all safe. Because there
Exactly.
are just some pleasantries in life that make life better for us. It's part of holistic living,
That's right. Like frozen yogurt.
like Froyo,
Yeah.
as we call it.
I'm trying to get the button here so we can see you. There you are.
I was gonna say, geez, where's
My
that
apologies.
woman's voice coming
It's
from?
just this disembodied
just
voice
a
in this studio.
That's right. So good. So hats off to them and
Right.
some of our other local businesses that are being very intentional, and it's the right call.
Exactly. Well, and we
That's
like
right
kind of highlighting these things on our on the program, to kind of share. Obviously, we can't talk to every local business, but they're a good representation, I think, of businesses that we've tried to target and speak to
That's right.
try to share their stories.
That's right.
So that's what's important to point out, I think. Before we go, we want to talk a little bit about numbers.
That's right.
Just
So
briefly here, right?
You can pull up the.
I actually have them ready to go.
I was going to give.
But tell us the
nationals.
nationals. Yeah.
National numbers as of Monday night: 2,113,488 cases of COVID-19 in the U.S. alone, which is an increase of 19,430. And again, that is within that range that we've seen, right? The lowest we've ever seen as far as daily cases is like in the 15,000 range, at least in recent times.
Okay. All right.
One day we had a pretty significant jump to 24,000, but it's generally in the upper teens to early 20s, if you can call numbers.
All
like
right.
that.
Okay.
And
this is from Johns Hopkins
This is
again.
from Johns
where
Hopkins
you're getting
University
these numbers
dashboard.
from, right?
Yep.
They've been collecting this data, since March, since this all thing started, I think.
Yeah. Yep. Daily. Yep.
Yeah.
And of the 23,984,592 coronavirus tests that have been conducted in the U.S., which is actually an increase of like almost 500,000 since yesterday, testing.
Oh, okay.
So we're making
That's
huge,
big. Yeah.
huge gains in that. 8.8% have come back positive. So again, it's between the 8.5 and 9% rate that they're seeing of positive tests.
Okay.
So
Very good. That's good. And locally, we can go to ksje.com and show you that the numbers are there, of course, from the latest State Health Department figures that were released yesterday. As we mentioned, from Sunday to Monday, there was a delay in labs reporting, and so I think now everyone is caught up, I think, because there was no kind of disclaimer on the numbers that were released yesterday. So it sounds like this is from everybody. So again, we have about 132 new cases in New Mexico for 9,845. San Juan County had 26 additional cases yesterday for a total of 2,123. There were 5 deaths in our state, so that's now a total of 440, and one of those was from San Juan County, so that is worth noting as well. And as we scroll down, we'll see the number of recoveries here, and that is about 46 additional recoveries for 4,160, and then there you see the other stories that we're collecting on that website. That are there. The daily statistics you can see there, and again, the Navajo Nation numbers that came in on Monday. So again, another 311 deaths total for the Navajo Nation. No new deaths reported on Monday, which I think is a good thing.
It's a great thing.
And 22 additional cases across the reservation, and that number seems low to me from what we have seen in recent days. But again, these daily numbers don't mean a whole lot until you kind of see them in context.
That's right.
So I hate to kind of put a lot of credence to just one day's numbers.
Right. And of course, the part of the concern is just the over flooding in our healthcare facilities. And so I've heard a lot of epidemiologists and docs mention that the number of hospitalizations is really clutch, because you can have a lot of positive tests, but some of those people can never develop actual symptoms, right? They can have mild cases, and it's still very, very important to be cognizant of that, but that the rate of hospitalization is really that holy grail number that they're watching, in addition to the other numbers, but that one in particular. So
very true. So that's true.
Hey, it looks like we have another caller, actually.
It does look like we have another caller.
Wow, this must be a special birthday gift, because
maybe
nobody ever calls in. I'm not saying that they have to say happy birthday. I'm just saying, wow.
But we knew of the 2 callers that were calling in. This is a person. This is a surprise. We don't know.
This is a guess who moment.
This is okay.
You want to guess who? Just kidding. Let's just go ahead.
I don't even.
Let's just go ahead. And
I have learned my lesson about no. But good morning. You're on KSJE. Thanks for calling in.
Good morning. It's Catherine Abeta.
Catherine Abeta, from
friend of the show.
Friend of the show, San Juan United Way.
Yes, I would have appreciated you guys trying to guess who I was. That would have been fun.
Right, and also probably embarrassing. But,
yeah, exactly.
But you have identified yourself, and
I have.
And you sound like Catherine, so I'm going to go with it.
Well, I am calling in today just to wish a very happy birthday to your co-host, Megan Cullop.
Aww.
Yeah.
Oh, Catherine Abeta, what a gem.
How nice.
Well, I know. Well, I figured, it's just part of what's special in our community and what's going on today. So it's super relevant. And Megan, you're so awesome. Thank you for everything you do for our community.
Oh, wow.
How nice.
How nice. I'm going to stand up straighter today.
I want to do a show on my birthday now.
I know. An important day in the community.
Where were you on my birthday? Wow. No, I'm just kidding. But how nice. I think it is great.
Nice. Yeah.
Very nice.
What a bunch of love in Farmington, let me tell you.
I didn't have KSJE's call-in number on speed dial.
Well, you need to get it. See, now you do. Now you do.
That's
good.
Right.
Well, that's great.
I can call you guys any morning.
Oh,
perfect.
We've opened a can.
Yes, that's right. Well, that's great, Catherine. Thank you for pointing that out and calling in. And I think a lot of folks feel the same way you do about our guest, our co-host, Megan Cullop here.
Don't doubt it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Keep up the good work, you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That's Catherine Abeta. Thank you for calling in. If you would like to wish Megan a happy birthday, you can do so on our Facebook page.
Sure.
Or you can call in the next few minutes here this morning at 566-3909. 566-3909 is the number to call in if you want to, and if you want to sing. I don't know.
Wow.
I mean,
yeah,
we could, I guess.
If somebody has a glockenspiel, perhaps?
Why not?
I was choosing the first weird instrument.
Yeah.
A bassoon.
Right.
I'll take that one too.
Bagpipes.
Yeah.
I would like to hear Happy Birthday with bagpipes for you, but yeah.
For you. I'd like that for you.
For you. That's right.
That's good.
Exactly.
That's good.
But I think it's true. I think you do a lot of you do a lot of work in the community. We've heard a little bit about it on this program. Some of the food drives, the food pantries, homework help through the church, and other things that you do. So I think people appreciate that.
Well, I love this community. Let me tell you,
There
head
you-
first into it, and it's paid off. So.
There you go. So
Yeah.
you made a difference. And being here, I appreciate that as well. And of course, we might as well put a plug in for Saturday morning.
Radio Free Saturday morning, every Saturday morning, 9 to 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. It's format fits. Are you laughing?
There you
Because
go.
it's like
You have
very-
that down.
Yes,
It sounds like it
that's
came out of a promo.
That's right. And it's format free radio. So
That's right.
we do all sorts of genres and decades, and there are, no rules. That's what's beautiful about community radio, because a lot of those mainstream stations, you either have a rock station or a country station or whatever. And this show is very much what we want to play that day. So.
Yeah. And you've been doing kind of your quarantine themes for the last
Quarantine
few
themes.
weeks, right? Because now we're
Yeah.
on week 14.
Right, we're in week 14, so we just finished volume 13
Right.
last week. So
And
yeah,
so-
generally, so this show started in January, and we do a different theme each week, and that's what kind of keeps it fun, and
Right.
so
Now you got 14 weeks of quarantine themes.
yeah, you'd be surprised about how many songs are out there.
Evidently.
Yeah.
Whenever I listen,
We got to try to find a plasma song.
There you go. Okay. All right.
Maybe I'll write one.
The gauntlet has been thrown down.
That's right.
Everyone.
That's right.
So there you are. But that's great. And so is there any theme you're working on yet for this week, or can we not say yet? It's early.
It's early yet in the week.
Okay.
I have a couple of themes rolling around in my head, but we'll see.
Okay. There you go. There's another shout
Aw.
out. See? Aw.
You are awesome. Have a wonderful day.
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
That's very nice, everybody. So perfect. Well, all right. Well, I
Cool.
think
What's tomorrow's show, Scott?
tomorrow's show is Wednesday,
Right.
and we have a show.
We have a show.
I believe we're going to be hearing from
Vince Moffat from Basin Home Health Companies.
He's one guest.
Yes, and
Darren Church
That's
from
right.
Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation
right.
to try to explain to me what's going on with these markets.
yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I love
'Cause-
the money talks.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. And Vince, of course, is a great, another great resource in the community.
Yes.
Knows a lot about healthcare, a lot about
Yes.
home health, and so
Yes.
it'll be great to get his perspective on what's going on.
Healthcare and money.
There you go.
I mean, that's a good show right there.
That's a good show. That's tomorrow.
So join us tomorrow.
All right. Please do, everybody.
Yes.
Until then, thank you, though, for joining us, and have a great, safe Tuesday. We'll be back again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. live on Facebook and YouTube here on KSJE.